Great afternoon, Math Pal, and great afternoon sa ating Math Terrific students. So, we have here the students from Gapod High School. Wow, thank you so much. Doña Magdalena H. Gapod High School from Deparo High School. Great afternoon. Once again, I am your tutor, Angelique, your Math Diwata in Arithmetic. So, every Friday, 3 to 3:40 p.m. with my mentor, Tutor Janet. All right. So, once again, Math 9 every Friday 3 to 3:40 p.m. So, magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Kasama ng ating mga parents, ng ating mga guardian, ng ating mga kaguruan dyan. Happy Teacher's Day po sa inyong lahat. Ayan. Nagpapasalamat po pala kami sa binubuo ng module writers na ito at ng mga validators, illustrator, and management team. Alright, so inuulit po natin, kasama po natin si Tutor Janet, ang ating fairy godmother. At ang inyong tutor, Tutor Angelique from SDO Caloocan City, ang inyong math diwata in arithmetic. Lagi po tayong mapapanood every Friday sa DepEd EdTech Unit, DepEd Tayo Facebook pages, sa YouTube channel DepEd Philippines, DepEd EdTech Unit, at DepEd TV YouTube channel. Alright, so once again, good afternoon po sa inyong lahat. Okay. Watching from SDO Cagayan. Hello po sa inyong lahat. Happy Teacher's Day, Tutor. Thank you so much. Happy Teacher's Day din sa mga inyong mga teachers na walang sawang sumusuporta at talagang tinutulungan kayo upang itulay ang pagkatuto. At syempre, nandito kaming mga itulay online tutors upang tulungan kayo. Alright. Now, let's continue. So, our topic for today are relation of roots and coefficient of a quadratic equation for week 2 and equations in quadratic form for week 3. All right. Now, for you to have a deeper understanding on the topics about quadratic equations from week 2 to 3, please watch the DepEd TV episode for grade 9. So, we have here the YouTube linked. All right, you can copy and then watch it later on. So, tinyurl.com, 9math Q1, EP4, and EP6. All right. So, our objectives are, hello, watching, listening from Caloocan, Deparo 3rd District. All right, grade 9 Sunflower. Hello po sa inyo. Watching from Pili National High School. Okay, hello, good afternoon. Watching from Butuan, happy Friday and happy Matalino Day. Thank you. So again, our objectives will be number 1, to describe the relationship between the coefficients and the roots of a quadratic equation. And for the second one, to solve quadratic equations or solve equations transformable to quadratic equations. So, including rational algebraic equations. All right. Now, let's review. Okay, I want to check. Tingnan nga natin sa ating mga students kung natutunan talaga nila ang ating lesson last time. All right. So, dalawang questions lang po ito. Ang kailangan nyo lang ay ilagay sa inyong comment section ang sagot. Okay, para kami ay makapili ng Cutie of the Week na bibigyan namin ng certificates and syempre pa-premyo din later on. Alright, so inuulit po namin, dapat ang isang Math Terrific Cutie student ay laging active sa chat. Hindi lamang active sa chat, ay sumasagot din sa mga tanong. At don't forget na lagyan ng number at sagot. Okay, let's start. Now, we have learned last time how to solve a quadratic equation. Tama? Tignan nga natin ano-ano ang methods or ways to solve a quadratic equation. So, meron tayong apat. Meron tayong apat na way. Alright. To solve a quadratic equation. Okay, so, tignan nga natin kung makakasagot. Habang inaantay ko yung sagot, let's read the comment section. Hello po. Watching from Itiague West District, Doña Magdalena. Wow, napakaraming Doña Magdalena. Ayan, isa rin sa pwedeng maging active school for the week and active school for the whole school year, no? Dito rin ang Deparo High School. Great afternoon po sa inyong lahat. Alright, Rob Lawrence P. Alright, so sagot-sagot din sa ating comment section. Grade 9 students, huwag kalimutan. Inulit namin, kami rin po ay hahanap at talagang titingin ng sino man ang maaaring maging cutie of the week. Okay. Alright, so number 1. So habang nagantay pa kami ng sagot, ayan si Cristel Felipe. Yes, great job. Quadratic formula. Ayan, that's one of the 4 ways to solve a quadratic equation. What else? Alright, good afternoon po. Good afternoon po watching from Dolores National High School. Hello po sa inyo. So once again, quadratic formula, factoring, extracting the square roots, and, okay, we have completing the square. So yun po yung 4 ways to solve a quadratic equation. Alright, now let's try to solve this one. What is the best or what is the appropriate way to solve this equation? Okay, so maaring quadratic formula, extracting the square root, completing the square, or factoring. Since as you can see, it is in the standard form, ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, then we can use a factoring. Alright, tignan natin kung kaya ng factoring. Yes, tama, Alexandra. Factoring method, completing the square, extracting the square roots, and quadratic formula. Tama ka rin, Cyrus Sugitan. Alright, yes, Harvey. Factoring is one of the ways. Okay, kung napapansin nyo, yung 21, factorable siya. And then, if you can find factors of negative 21 which has a sum of positive 4, then you can use a factoring method. Yes. Aside from that, yung iba nadadalian sa quadratic formula. But once again, if you know if there are factors of negative 21 which has a sum of positive 4, then go on with factoring. Okay? So, the factors of negative 21 are positive 7 times negative 3, that's negative 21. So, ang ating sagot dito? Tingnan nga natin sa number 1. Napakita ko saglit yung factors. Okay, while reading some of your comments, what do you think is the answer for number 1? Again, in solving a quadratic equation, ang hinahanap natin ay values ng x. Maaring dalawa yung values ng x na to. As you can see, ang exponent ay in the second degree. So, alam natin that there are 2 roots. If this is the case. Okay, so may mga cases yan, right? Alright, so watching from Echage West District. Aba, parang isang buong section tong Echage West District. Good afternoon po. Watching from 9 Dalton. Hello po. Watching from Dolores National High School. Hello po sa inyo. Okay, so tignan natin. Harvey, ang sagot niya, negative 7 and negative 3. Tignan nga natin yung iba pa. The factors are quantity x plus 7 and quantity x minus 3. Now, if we apply the zero product property, so we can say x plus 7 equals 0. X minus 3 equals 0. Tama. Sandali. Alright. Okay, waiting pa tayo sa tamang sagot, no? And tandaan, we will use the addition property of equality. So kung ililipat natin si positive 7 sa kabila, sa right side, then mag-iiba siya, tama? So it will be x equals negative 7. Alright. Ilipat natin si negative 3 sa kabila, x equals positive 3. So, dapat ang sagot, negative 7 and positive 3. O, si Harvey nakuha yung isang solution, which is negative 7. So, be careful lang sa sign. Alright, now let's try number 2 while waiting for the comments from different parts of the Philippines. Yes, good job, Alexandra. The solutions are negative 7 and positive 3. Great job. Okay, how about number 2? Okay, so habang kayo ay sumasagot, again, please give me the solutions of number 2. X squared plus 8x minus 20 equals 0. Tignan nga natin kung sino ang pinaka-active na school at nandyan lagi. Very active talaga, no? Doña Magdalena H. Gapod High School. Ryan Palisok, hello po. Froilan Aaron. We have JP Piloria from Gapod High School, the same thing. Trisha May Milan. Hello, watching from Echage District from Kalayan High School. Kalayan, Cagayan. Hello po sa inyo. Alright, from STO Cagayan. Tignan nga natin kung meron ditong Deparo High School. Alright, so habang sumasagot sila for number 2 once again, you can use 4 ways, but please choose the best or the appropriate way to solve this quadratic equation, right? Good afternoon, watching from Dolores National High School, Nicole Kamawas. Ayan, sumasagot si Harvey. Tama ba, Harvey? Ikaw ay isa sa aking mga estudyante from Deparo High School. Alright, so what are the factors? Quantity x plus 10 and quantity x minus 2 equals 0. By applying the zero product property, o be careful talaga, no? Pa-shout out po sa Magsaysay. Hello, Micaela. Alright, so inuulit ko, be careful sa signs. Alright, so as you can see, x plus 10 equals 0 and x minus 2 equals 0. When we transfer the positive 10 to the right side, it becomes negative 10. And then if you transfer the negative 2 to the right side, it becomes positive 2. So the correct answer, tignan nga natin kung sino una nakakuha. Wow, very good. See? Alright. Very good. See? Harvey Lopez. Ayan, negative 10 and positive 2. We also have here Eman Pereras. Alright. Taga saan si Eman Pereras? Hi, Che Villagorda, Ma'am Angelique. Ang ganda natin. Pa-shout out po. O, diba? Hindi lang ako yung maganda, kayo rin. Alright. Siyempre, self-confidence is the key. Tama, Jade? Okay, so watching and listening from Echage West District, Doña Magdalena, Gapod High School. Okay, sagot-sagot din ha. Nakikita nating active dito si Harvey and then si Eman Pereras. Okay, pipili tayo ng math cutie of the week natin yan. So, the solutions are negative 10 and 2. Okay, gusto-gusto ko yung laging in a sentence na sagot ni Alexandra. Yes, you have to answer in a sentence. Alexandra, correct? The solutions are negative 10 and positive 2. Okay. Now, let's try to analyze. Number 1. We answered a while ago, the solutions are negative 7 and 3. In number 2, solutions are negative 10 and positive 2. Now, what if we add the roots? Negative 7 plus 3 is negative 4. Ano yung napapansin nyo? What if we multiply the roots? Negative 7 times positive 3 is negative 21. Tandaan ha, negative times positive, that's negative. How about the other one? Negative 10 plus 2, negative 8. Tignan nga natin kung sino yung sumasagot dyan. And then, if we multiply, negative 10 times 2, it's negative 20. Now, my question is, what do you observe about the sum and product of the roots in relation to the values of A, B, and C? Ano kaya ang napapansin natin dyan? Okay, so habang inantay ko ulit yung sagot kasi gusto ko active talaga. Gusto namin ni Tutor Janet, ang ating very good mother na makakasama natin later on, no? Na dapat active ang aming tutie. Alright, so dahil kayo ay math terrific tuties, right? Hello, so habang mga negative po, habang ako ay nag-aantay ng inyong sagot, pasa tayo ng comment. Good afternoon, watching from DNHS. Alright, from 9 Dalton. Hello, good afternoon po. Watching from DNHS again from 9 Dalton. Yeah, so what do you observe about the sum and product of the roots? Naging negative po. Okay. So yung negative 4, related ba siya dito sa A, B, and C? Alright. Yes, tama. Malalaman nyo later on bakit nga ba sila related. At sasagutin natin yan. Okay. So, given the standard form of ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, where a, b, c are real numbers and a is not equal to 0, then what are the roots? Ano yung roots natin? Siyempre, hindi nyo na kayang ilagay ito sa chat, no? Sa ating comment section. Hello, watching from Canarva, Canan National High School 9 Platinum. So what are the two roots? The first root is negative b plus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. And the second root is negative b minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So these are the two roots. Ngayon, paano natin malalaman na related pala ito sa values ng a, b, and c? Na related pala ang sum and product of the roots sa values ng a, b, and c. Let's try to derive. Okay. Oh, may sagot na si Alexandra. O, habol-habol sa iba. The sum of the roots is the quotient of the value of b and a. And the product of the roots is the quotient of the value of c and a. Wow, very good. Pero kumpletuhin natin yan mamaya. Oh, good job si Alexandra. Parang konting may kulang pero nakuha din niya yung ating tinatanong kanina. So, let's try to derive. If these are the two roots, then if we add the two roots, so negative b plus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a plus negative b minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a, ano ang kalalabasan? May makakancel ba dyan? Eh, parehas naman yung kanyang denominator, right? So, we can combine the numerator. Okay, tama. Hello from Pampanga, watching and listening. Jam Rivera, hello po sa inyo dyan. So, if we add them, okay, may makakancel ba? Yes. Dahil parehas ang denominator, at napapansin nyo, meron tayong positive square root of b squared minus 4ac at meron tayo ditong negative b squared minus 4ac, then the sum of the opposites is 0. Okay, or we can cancel them already. Tama? Ayan. So, ano na lang ang natitira? We have negative b over 2a plus negative b over 2a. Negative b plus negative b is negative 2b. Copy the common denominator, that's 2a. Can we simplify? Can we still simplify? Yes, we can, right? So we can factor out the 2 and cancel because 2 over 2, that's 1 already, right? So we have here negative 2b over 2a equals negative b over a. Alright, o, diba? Correct si Alexandra a while ago. However, the sum of the roots is the negative. Oh, don't forget that, Alexandra. The negative, right? The sum of the roots is the negative of the quotient of the value, the negative of b over a. Alright. Okay, so again, that is negative b all over a. Now, how about derivation of the product of the roots? Now, let's multiply. Okay. Di namin ma-type dito, ma'am. Ha, ha, ha. Siyempre, di ba? Ang hirap nito, may square root. Sana sa Facebook, no, may insert yung equation natin. Di natin alam, no? Sooner or later, may makapag-insert na tayo parang sa Word lang. Di ba? 9 Nickel from Calayan National High School. Ayan, dyan galing si Tutor Janet, ang ating fairy godmother. So, when we multiply, ano yung napapansin nyo? Okay. Ito, wow, talaga naman si Alexander, sumagot na talaga. Difference of two squares po. Okay. So, actually, ang sagot dito, when you multiply the numerators, that is the difference of two squares. Why, teacher? Kung napapansin nyo, this is sum and difference of two terms. So, if you multiply the sum and difference of two squares, then the answer will be difference. Okay, once again, if you multiply the sum and difference of two terms, then the answer is the difference of two squares. Very good, Alexander. Alexander ba? Tama. Tingnan nga natin kung Alexandra kanina. O merong Alexandra. Merong Alexander. Ayan, nakala ko isa lang sila. Very good. Okay. So when we multiply, ang napansin nyo, difference of 2 squares. So b square minus the quantity of b square minus 4ac all over 4a square. Alright. Now, if we simplify furthermore, we have b square minus b square plus 4ac all over 4a square. So that's how to derive. And then, b square minus b square is 0. Ayan. So ano na lang natira? 4ac all over 4a square. So, the answer is c over a. So when we multiply the two roots, then the product of the two roots is C over A. Alexandra at Yensa, baka meant to be tayo, classmate. Grabe naman. Talaga naman yung mga grade 9 natin, no? Si Alexander at Alexandra talaga. Pero gusto ko yan, sumasagot kayo. Tignan natin, ha? Kung hanggang sa dulo, active pa rin kayo. Okay, so, next. Alright. Natawa talaga ako kila Alexander tsaka Alexandra, no? So again, the sum and product of the roots are negative b over a and c over a. So please don't forget that. All right? And then we can relate it into an equation. So ibig sabihin, the equation is x squared plus b over ax plus c over a equals 0. Now, papaano kapag yung sum at yung product lang yung given? No? Alright? Mamaya, malalaman nyo yun. So, papaano if A equals 1? What happened if A equals 1? Okay, what do you think? Once again, what happened if A equals 1? Then, the negative of the sum of the roots is the coefficient of x, right? And the constant term is the product of the roots. Is that clear? Alright. Tignan nga natin. Sana soon. Maintindihan ko. Okay. So, try mo lang paulit-ulit mong panoorin. DepEd TV, DepEd Itulay, kasama ng self-learning module, maiintindihan nyo yan. Okay? Eto lang. Pasimplihin natin. So, ibig sabihin, kapag given yung sum, ilalagay nyo siya dito in the middle term. X squared minus the sum and then x plus the product equals 0. Okay? So, ganun siya. Inuulit natin, ha? Kapag given yung sum ng roots, ilalagay lang natin siya dito. X squared minus the sum, negative b over a, x plus the product, which is c over a. And then, you will get the quadratic equation. Alright. So, magkakaroon tayo ng example para dyan. Ayan. Now, without solving for the solutions of the quadratic equation, let's find the sum and product of its roots. Tignan nga natin. Okay. Ready na ba? Ready na ba ang ating mga math terrific students? Our math pal? Number 1, what do you think is the sum of the roots? Alright. Please don't forget the first step. you have to indicate the values of A, B, and C. So, tulungan ko kayo ng konti. A equals 4, B equals 2, and C equals -5. Ayan. So, habang ako ay naghihintay ng sagot, alright, basa muna tayo ng comments dyan. Hello po sa inyong lahat. Nay, Nickel, hello. Alright, good afternoon po watching, listening from Magalang, Pampanga. We have Rian, Kyla M. Ochoa. Good afternoon. Ayan, sumagot na si Alexander. Okay, Alexandra, nandiyan ka ba, Harvey? Eman, okay, sagot-sagot na. Good afternoon po, watching and listening from Dolores. Ayan, napaka-active naman ng ating from Pampanga, Cagayan. So, congratulations po ha for being very supportive sa ating SDO Cagayan, SDO Pampanga, SDO Pasay, at SDO Caloocan. Hello po sa inyo. Alright. So, we have here the sum. Ano yung sum natin? Okay. Negative B over A. Good job. So, the answer is negative 2 over 4, which is negative 1/2. Very good, Alexander. Andiyan na rin si Alexandra. Okay. And she answered in a sentence form. That's great. The sum of the roots is negative 1/2, and the product of the roots is negative 5/2. Wow, very good. So we have here, okay. All right. So C over 8. O, sandali ha. Be careful lang. Negative 5 over A. Ayun. O, dapat be careful sa pag-substitute ng values ng A, B, and C. Okay. Okay lang yan. At least, always remember to double check, triple check, quadruple check, and do many checks as you can. Tama? Alexander, Alexandra, and we have here, ayan, so very good si Alexander. Tama, the product is negative 5. Wait, sandali. Sabi sa'yo di tayo tao, bagay tayo, bagay talaga. Okay, wag niyo naman gawing to, no? Ligawan comment section, ha? Pero okay lang yan. Basta mag-enjoy tayo, matuto, at pag may question kayo, ilagay lamang sa comment section. Alright, so tawagin naman natin si ating ang ating fairy godmother, si Tutor Janet. Hello po, Tutor Janet. Yes, Darwin, negative 5 over 4. Hi, Tutor Janet. Napaka-active ng ating mga grade 9.
Ayan, oo nga, nakikita ko talagang i-recognize din natin, no? Hindi lang taga Pampanga, taga Caloocan, taga Pasay, at meron din tayo from yung sa Etiague district. So they are from Isabela. Oo, tama. Specifically, wow. Cagayan, Isabela. Oo nga, tama. So, para sa ating example number 2, Math Diwata Tutor, ayan. So we have, the question is, using the concept of the sum and product of roots, form the quadratic equation whose roots are 1/5 and 3/7. So, ang tinatanong this time, so sa example kanina na binigay ni Tutor Angenique, so nakita ninyo, given yung roots, hanapin ang, o baliktad po pala, given yung equation, hanapin yung sum and product of the roots. Ngayon, sa ating example number 2, ang given ay yung roots, kayo naman ang magde-derive ng equation. Okay. So, how are we going to do that in that case? So, i-recall natin yung binigay na formula ni Tutor Angenique towards the end of the lesson, no? Dine-develop niya yung lesson, sabi niya, so plug in lang or ilagay dun sa equation na, ano yung equation natin na sinusunod, Tutor?
Okay, so tandaan, x squared minus the sum, and then x plus the product. Ayun.
Okay. We're in taking note nga na ang ating pina-plug in na sum ay manggagaling doon yung coefficient ng linear term over your numerical coefficient ng quadratic term. And of course, the product, next po. Ayan, ang ating product ay manggagaling sa, okay, C over A. So, ano ba ang ating sum? What is the sum of the given roots? 1/5 and 3/7. Ayan, may fraction na tutor, no? So, ito yung isa sa mga learning gap natin uli pagdating sa pag-ooperate with fractions. But you see, napakasimple lang po na nakita natin sa screen. All we need to do is just get the LCD of our roots. So the least common denominator is 35. Okay, and then we can rename therefore 1/5 as 7 over 35. And 3/7 will be renamed as 15 over 35. So therefore, ano ang sum ng ating roots? It's equal to 22 over 35. Okay, so moving forward, kukunin na natin ngayon ang product kasi sabi natin sa middle term yung natin kinukuha yung sum, no? Or na-affect ng middle term yung sum. Now, for the constant term, kailangan natin yung product, which is as what is shown in the screen, x1 times x sub 1 times x sub 2. Okay, so kailangan natin therefore i-multiply. So mas madali for some students yung mag-multiply, no, tutor? Okay, pakita
Yes.
natin yung product kasi we just need to multiply across numerator to numerator and then denominator to denominator. Ayan. So ano ba ang product ng 1/5 and 3 over 7? Ayan, may question si Fritz. Sabi niya, saan po nang galing yung 7 at 15? Okay, so good question, no? So kung titingnan natin yung ating LCD na 35, so pwede nating sabihin na for elementary, tinuturo yun sa inyo. 35 divided by 5 is 7. And then multiply mo siya unit fraction kasing 1/5. So 7 times the numerator 1 as is siya. So 35 divided by 5, ulitin ko, is 7. And then 7 times the numerator 1 is 7 pa rin. So for the case naman ng 3 over 7, Fritz, no, recall natin, 35 divided by 7. Ano ba ang 35 divided by 7? It's 5. And then 5 times 3 is 15. So, kaya doon nang galing yon. So, nirename natin yung ating fraction na 1/5 as 7 over 35 and 3/7 as 15 over 35. So, pag pinag-combine yung ating roots, ang sagot ay 22 over 35. Okay? So, I hope nasagot namin ni tutor ang yung question, Fritz. Let's go now to C over A. Saan natin kukunin yung C over A? Ayan. Nakita na nyo sa screen. Naka-project na. It's 1/5 times 3/7. So, it's easier to multiply. I said, just multiply across. 1 times 3 is 3. Then 5 times 7 is 35. So, therefore, ang ating sum ay 22 over 35 while the product naman ng roots ay 3 over 35. And then plugging in doon sa equation na nakikita ninyo sa lower left, you have okay, x sub 1 or rather x squared minus the sum which is 22 over 35. Then don't forget, no, middle term natin dapat may variable pa rin siya. X squared minus the sum times x plus the product which is 3 over 35 is equal to 0. And then what should be done next? No, hindi pa po yan yung final answer. Siyempre, kailangan nating tanggalin yung denominator, okay, for our middle term and for the constant term. So, ano ngayon ang ating magiging final answer? Our final answer would be 35x squared minus 22x plus 3 equals 0. Ayan po ang ating final answer. Okay? So, we were able to derive na the equation which is in quadratic form, in standard form. I stand correct. Okay. Sige, tutor.
Alright po. So, tandaan po natin ha. To simplify, just multiply the LCD. The LCD is 35. So, i-multiply lang natin sa whole equation. So, 35 times x squared, 35x squared. 35 times 22 over
22 over
35.
35.
So, negative 22 na. And then, 35 times positive 3 over 35. So, ang natira ay positive 3. So, this is the simplified quadratic equation. Alright. Tutor, dito naman po tayo sa another lesson. Equations in quadratic form. Okay.
Okay.
So let's try to transform the following equations to quadratic. Kung napapansin natin, x raised to 4, hindi na siya quadratic equation, di ba, tutor? So ang highest
Yes,
exponent niya na ay 4.
4.
But we can solve this one through the use of quadratic equation. Alright. Why? Pwede po natin siyang i-factor, wherein x raised to 4 is x squared raised to 2 minus 7 times quantity x squared plus 12 equals 0. So kung napapansin natin, pwede nating, ang gagawin natin dito? Pwede nating i-let any variable yung ating x squared. Ayan. We will make a substitution as follows. Let m equals x squared para matanggal yung tinatawag nating x raised to 4. Okay. So we will have m squared minus 7 times m plus 12 equals 0. So napapansin natin, quadratic form na siya. Pero wag nating kakalimutan yung original equation. Right, tutor? Okay,
Yes.
kasi
Oo.
gagamitin natin yan to solve the quadratic, this
The
equation
equation.
later on. Okay, yan. Alright, so another example, tutor Janet.
Okay, so ang isa pa nating halimbawa, hindi naman laging kailangan na trinomial siya, no? Like in this case. So we have quantity x squared minus 6x, or the square of the quantity x squared minus 6x minus 2 times the quantity x squared minus 6x minus 35 is equal to 0. So sa case ng ating example number 2, no, Math Liwata Tutor, meron tayong i-represent na binomial, which is the common for our first term at saka yung middle term na minus 2 quantity x squared minus 6x. So, ibig sabihin, anong ating i-represent? So, we can use any variable. So, in this case, pinili namin ni tutor na i-represent siya with letter R. So, let R is equal to yung expression na yan na nasa loob ng parenthesis, which is common to our first term and second term. So, that's why we have, meron na tayo ngayon na r squared minus 2r minus 35 is equal to 0. So, although ang degree niya ay hindi 2, it's actually sa math 10, i-introduce sa inyo, ang tawag dyan ay quartic. So, degree 4, pwede natin siyang i-transform into a quadratic equation. So, it's an equation transformable in quadratic form, which is r squared minus 2r minus 35 is equal to 0. Okay? Next na tayo, tutor.
Alright. Ayan, dahil natutunan nyo na on how to transform an equation to quadratic form, ngayon, let's try to solve. Okay, so we have here quantity x squared plus 2x squared raised to the power of 2 minus 2 times quantity x squared plus 2x plus 3 equals 0. So, ang gagawin natin, first, let us use any variable to represent x squared plus 2x. So, pwedeng m, letter A, anon. So, let m equals x squared plus 2x. Ayan. Now, let's replace. So, we have m squared minus 2 times m plus 3 equals 0. So, after we have transformed into quadratic form, we can solve it in any way na pwede nating gawin. Like for example, extracting the square root, completing the square, factoring, and quadratic formula. So in this case, we can solve it, Tutor Janet, right? By factoring. Okay, and then alam na natin ang factoring. So we have here the positive 3. The factors of positive 3 are, nandali lang.
Dapat yata yan ay
Okay.
negative na tutor. Oo.
Yes, so dapat
Your
po
constant term.
negative. Okay, negative 1. Okay, palitan lang po natin yan ha. Negative 1. So we have
Yung
here,
constant term, tutor, ay negative 3. No? Dapat ang
opo,
iyong given ay x squared, the quantity of x squared plus 2x squared minus 2 times the same quantity ma-
Mm-mm.
minus 3 para yan ay magiging
Alright.
factorable na.
Okay. So, nagkamali lang po dito
Oh,
na example, no,
mm.
tutor? So, we have here
Yes.
dapat minus 3 ito.
Yes.
Okay.
Opo.
So, palitan lang natin ang mabilisan. Tutor, sandali lamang po. So, direct, basa-basa muna po kami ng comment.
Ayan, oo.
Pa, ayan. Hello po, direct.
Yan, watching from Etchage, West District, Doña Magdalena H. Gafford High School. Ayan, meron tayong, at si Konsehal, pangalan niya ay Konsehal Ale Soria. Kanina more on X and Y lang. Ngayon, pumasok na sila M at R. Okay, si Mister pumasok na daw M at R. Oh, so actually, sir, this konsehal, no? This particular given natin, pwede yung mabago, no? Pwedeng A or B. So, kasi variable sama talaga. Hindi lang si X at Y ang bida. Pwedeng si M, si R, pwedeng si U. Pwedeng ikaw po yung bida. Ganon. Okay.
Yes. Alright. So, ayan
So,
na, tutor, Janet.
ayan na po. Kailangan kasi
Okay.
tama yung ating factors, no? Yan, para ma-solve talaga
Yes.
natin yung quartic equation.
Okay, so ulitin po natin. The factors of negative 3 is negative 3 times positive 1. And the
Mm.
sum is negative 2. Ayan, so quantity m
Okay.
plus 1 times quantity m
M
minus 3.
minus 3.
So using zero property, so we have m plus 1 equals 0 and then m minus 3 equals 0. So we have here the answers negative 1 and positive 3. Alright.
Correct.
Now, if we try to solve it, let's use the original equation.
Equation.
Ayan. So ano ba yung ginawa natin kanina? Because let m equals x squared plus 2x, so dapat equate din natin yung nakuha nating values. Tama, Tutor Janet? So we
Oo, kasi
have,
kailangan natin ng 4 na roots in this case, no? Dapat 4 yung magiging sagot natin.
yes. So we have x squared plus 2x equals negative 1. And then x squared plus 2x equals positive 3.
Positive 3.
Ayan. So, solving the quadratic, we have here two quadratic equations. So, we have the solutions, negative 1, then positive 1, and negative 3. So, dahil naulit na yung negative 1, then therefore, the solutions are 1, negative 3, and negative 1. Ayan po, Tutor Janet.
Oo, so let me just add, no, kasi pagdating nila ng grade 10, ma-encounter nila yan, no? Maririnig na yung word na multiplicity. So although meron tayong tatlong numbers dyan, merong isang root na may multiplicity of 2, kaya ang bilang pa rin natin sa kanya ay 4 na roots. Repeated nga lang yung isa sa kanila. Okay? So let's go now to
Alright.
our example number, ayan, dito na pala tayo sa evaluation na tutor.
Yes, dahil wala na
Ayan.
pong time. Mabilis ng
Oo,
time
oo
natin,
nga.
Sister Janet.
Siguro balikan na lang natin yung evaluation, no, para we can also proceed to ang ating pagbati, no?
Ah,
Punta na tayo
yes
dun
po.
sa ating pagbati, tutor. Kasi alam natin ngayon we are celebrating the World Teachers Month. So ngayong darating na Tuesday, in fact, meron tayong tinatawag na worldwide yan, World Teachers Day. So, binabati ko po ang aming principal from Kalayaan National High School, si Sir Agapito Chodoro Manaog. Siya ang aming father transformer. Happy Teachers Day, pati na rin po sa aking mga kasama. Yan, kinunan niyang picture. That was, I think, the last intrams na face-to-face. Pwede ba tayo mag-intrams kayo na, no? Yan ang aming huling intrams na face-to-face. So, binabati ko po ang lahat ng mga wolves, mga falcons, at mga eagles na nakalaban namin ng mga rhinos noong nakaraang October 2019. So, happy Teacher's Day. Ikaw naman, Tutor, sino ba ang mga babatiin mo?
Ayan. So ako din, binabati ko nga po pala ang aming Queen Mother ng Tiparo High School, Ma'am Arlene C. Ocol. Happy Teacher's Day
Happy
po sa
Teacher's Day
inyo.
po.
And then sa mga kasamahan ko, ayan, tika nawala yung slide, no? Yung last slide natin. Sandali.
Apo.
Okay. So binabati nga rin po, okay, ayan. Sandali. Okay. So ang ating, okay, ito. Medyo nawala lang siya kanina. So,
Mm.
ayusin lang natin.
I-enlarge, maximize mo, ma'am.
Okay. Nakihan ko
Ayan,
na
may
lang.
opo.
Alright. So, happy Teacher's Day po sa ating Deparo High School teachers in STO Caloocan. Hello po sa inyo. Happy Teacher's Day sa
Ayan,
aking
happy Teacher's Day po.
Mathematics Department. Hello
Ang
po.
dami niyo
Maraming
pala
maraming
tutor, 'no?
salamat po. Yes. At syempre po may
Sige, sige.
dumagdag pa po sa family namin.
Yes, oo.
Alright, Tutor Janet.
So magpaalam na tayo. So sana samahan niyo po kami, tutor, 'no? Anong ating time slot? Kaya
So,
kasi
every
muna
Friday,
tayo.
3 o'clock to 3:40 p.m., mapapanood po tayo sa DepEd EdTech Unit. DepEd tayo sa Facebook page. Live na live po yan. And then sa ating YouTube channels.
Yes, sa mga
Alright?
team replay. At we value your comments po. So pwede niyo pong i-send ang inyong mga feedback or questions sa nakikita niyo sa screen na https://tinyurl.com ETU, ETU yung capital letter lie, then feedback form. So, pwede nyo rin pong scan yung QR image na nakita nyo dyan. So, para po sa inyong mga, kasi talaga naman, we aim for improvement, no? Lagi yan every single Friday po. So, ayan. Maraming maraming salamat po. At magkita-kita po tayo. Abangan po ninyo para sa sino ang susunod natin, tutor, kasunod natin at sina?
Ayan, abangan po ninyo si Tutor Roel and Tutor Abhil para sa Math 10.
Yes. Bye-bye po.
Salamat!